Okay. Huh.
3, 2,
Okay.
1.
Come on. Come on. It's the cOHlLab. Hey, come on. You know you want to collab with me. Everybody. Yes.
Everybody.
Let me tell y'all something right now. Is this camera on me? Let me tell y'all something. You know how you, I found a brother. Here he is. We love hip hop. Same genre, same music, same playlist. And I know y'all saw them shoulders. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, it's so funny because who interviews the interviewer? Who takes time to love on the people that loves on the people?
Yeah.
You know, who takes the time to single a person out to hear their story when they show up for everybody? Well, familia, that's what we're doing today. Welcome to another episode of the cOHlab. I am so very blessed to interview a brother, to interview familia. Literally, I feel like God blesses me with family every day, and I found it in this man, Robbie Shaw of EVRYBDY Studios. Let me tell you all, it is not just the name of the studio. It's not just the name of what he's doing. It's literally what he believes. It's what he shows. And he is definitely the epitome of a safe space to create for creatives. What's up, bruh?
How you doing?
Come on, you know that was fine. Stop playing. You know that was fine.
Introduction.
I mean, if I'm going to intro, it's the cOHlab. Come on now. I'm playing with y'all. It got to be a certain
I expected
je ne sais quoi.
no less.
You know what I'm saying? Little dije lo que dije. How you feeling, bro?
Pretty good. I wish I could speak Spanish.
We could work on that.
Golly.
We could work on that.
Just quick. I mean, you're so quick with it.
Yeah, because come on, it's in the blood. Come on now.
Yeah.
Now you family. We got to work on that.
Yeah.
You got your walking Duolingo right here.
All right.
So, Robbie, I meant what I said, though. Even though fire intro, all things considered, I really mean it. Since meeting you, shout out to my best friend, Meredith Dean. Since meeting you, I got to tell you, one, you a real one. Okay? And I don't hold back on telling the truth because I love our city and I love people, but you, Robbie, are for real. A real one.
Thank you.
And I mean that.
Thank you for noticing.
For real. And who interviews the interviewer? Who loves on the person who's for everybody, right? Yeah. So that's what we're going to delve into today. Just a little bit of who you are and sharing and bragging because the people doing the things, they don't brag enough.
I can brag.
Well, let's brag. Let's get into it. Let's start from the beginning. I'm very big on origin story. Got to put it in everything. So take me back to maybe a time in your life where you said, okay, I feel like I'm called to serve creatives. I feel like I'm maybe called to be an entrepreneur. What was that moment where it just all kind of came together and helped you to decide to at least ideate EVRYBDY Studios?
Okay. Well, you and I have spoken kind of behind the scenes on how things do come together.
Yeah.
And often they make no sense. It makes no sense, and all the pieces are floating everywhere, and you're asking yourself, what in the hell is going on in my life? And then something connects, and then two more connect, and all of a sudden, all of it just kind of comes together and creates this beautiful little ball. And then it makes sense.
Yes.
All the things, all the experiences, the lows, the highs, the people, the non-people.
Yes.
All of a sudden, it makes sense. And so to answer your question, that was very recent for me. Very, very recent. Okay. And that has to do with personal stuff, growth, maturity, emotional maturity, and also professional life, where I have been working in the mental health space for over a decade. So I help people with addiction and substance use and all that crazy kind of crisis stuff that's in my past. And so I'm fairly good at that and understand it very, very well. So I help people down that path. But that led to a podcast. And so I wanted to educate people on a lot of the things that I had learned in doing that work. And so I created this podcast. And I will preface with, I've always been a creative type.
Thanks.
Always been in art. I was a drummer. I played music. I've always created videos. I've got some rap videos that you would not believe.
Hold on. Like you rapping? Like freestyle?
Oh, God. Oh, no. Not freestyle. Definitely written.
But rapping.
But rapping. And
Run
videos
tapes,
and music. And oh, my God, you'll love it.
Yes.
So the creative side of me has always been there, but I've never pursued it in a professional space. And then I create a podcast. It becomes fairly successful. I'm obsessed with the process of podcasting. And that evolves and evolves and evolves to now I have a studio where I help people create.
Understatement. Yes, you're helping people create, Robbie, but really you are the safe space for us to create. You know, and again, you all, we're just letting you in on a conversation that we had off camera. And I said, Robbie, I need to get you on the mic ahora, right? But I think a big thing for when you are a creative entrepreneur and you're building something that maybe you've never seen, or you're the first in your family, or you're just making it happen and you're figuring out, it's so important to have people around you that you can trust. It's so important to have people around you where you sow seeds of an idea or a thing and it's safe. I think that that's something people sleep on a lot. If you're a creative entrepreneur, I know you feel me. You need people around you that make you feel safe to create. And that's what everybody is doing. So yes, you are allowing us to live our dreams doing everything. But again, I think about that. So take me back. You want to have a podcast studio. You want to have a studio. Why the name Everybody, missing the vowels too? Because I'm big on, I love stuff like that. Like, you know, it's all in a name. Take me back to why naming it Everybody, removing the vowels. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the word explains itself. All encompassing, all including, community-based, you know, no judgment, no limits.
Yeah.
Everybody, come on.
Yeah.
And then, of course, it's just a branding tactic.
Yeah. Come on.
Well, you know why it's an effective branding tactic? Because you just asked me about it.
Oh, yeah, facts. Yeah.
Now everybody is looking at it. Everybody's wondering why. Everybody's talking about that. Now it's stuck in your head.
But it is, though.
It's stuck in your head.
It's stuck in your head.
Everybody, no vowels except the E and maybe the Y. Sometimes Y.
Sometimes Y. And you know we got you. But for real, okay. Smart.
So that's it. I mean, really, it's not a big, long, drawn-out process. It was like, let's make it different.
Yeah.
Let's make it all-inclusive and make it unique.
Yes, well, the difference definitely makes a difference because we can feel it in this atmosphere. I think the number one feedback that I got from, shout out to Shakira McGill, was, oh, hey, that space feels real good. And it's crazy because people even watching or listening in, they're like, that space feels real good, right? Let's discuss how you put together a powerhouse team. I'm thinking about, you know, we got Sadie. Shout out to Sadie on the ones and the twos. We got Liz. We got Meredith.
Ones and twos.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, because, you know, everything for me is hip-hop. Ones and twos, right? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So talk to us a little bit about how you even build your own familia through EVRYBDY Studios.
Yeah, I mean, there's a history on how I get introduced to people and how we developed relationships, but ultimately, and what I will say till the end of the existence of this business, is that this is not what it would be or what it is without my team. And people say that all the time, but like, I can't do this. I mean, I've got ideas and I'm a creative and I can come up with a vision and an excitement and I can sell it like nobody.
Yeah.
But I can't execute half of this stuff. And so I needed to bring people in to do what they do best, which is operations, which is content creation, which is marketing, which is business, finance, all those things. I got a little bit in those, but I need experts.
Yeah.
And so my business partner, my number one business partner, the co-owner of this company, her name is Charlotte Cameron. She helped me with Charlotte, shout out. I couldn't do it without you, man. She helped me with my podcast early on. So we developed a really close relationship and as it was evolving and we were coming up with ideas and looking at opportunities, she and I came together and said, do you want to do this? And we were both like, let's do it. Let's do it.
It sounds like the cOHlab to me, which is my favorite thing.
Yeah.
So y'all, really quick, I need you to know the cOHlab is powered by all things EVRYBDY Studios. Because again, if we're talking collaboration, that includes everybody. And that's one of the many things I love about Robbie. Like, he really pulls in the best of the best. Robbie, speak to the importance of the aspect of collaboration when you talk everybody, right? And being intentional. And I love how you said, knowing the experts, the people who are doing the thing in their zone of genius. How do you pull all those people together? Why is that important?
Yeah, I mean, obviously for the skill set, that's one thing, but the other is the relationship. It's the trust. It's the vulnerability. It's the teamwork. I mean, that's the only thing that makes it work, right? And there has to be a leader. There has to be someone who's you know, I hate to say selling, but really just helping people buy into the vision.
Yes.
And that is something that I, have learned I'm okay at. But the vision is good. The vision is exciting. There is opportunity, and I didn't know that for sure because I don't have, a pulse on everything out there. But when I pull in these people that do, and they say that's a good idea, I go, okay, let's develop a relationship. Who are you? And here's who I am, and here's how We can be effective together if you're in.
And you know what I love is that aspect of having a sounding board along your entrepreneurial journey. People who could see the blind spots. Yeah, talk a little bit about that too.
So there's two parts to that. There's obviously doing it, and then there's trusting the feedback.
There go that word again, trust.
It's everything. And I want to go back to the safe space to create, but I'll finish on that. You have to be open. You have to put your ego aside. You got to let your walls break down. There's just no way to work in a team without that, right? I mean, you can't have any relationship without that. If it's genuine and authentic. Right. So, when you're building something that's going to have parts that don't work and parts that do and parts that you see are not going to work, you've got to listen. You've got to be open to the growth.
Yes.
And you can't get angry. You can't get mad at people giving you feedback and telling you that you made that's not a good decision, or maybe you even made a freaking mistake. Right. God forbid.
Right.
We all make freaking mistakes.
We do.
You've got to be okay with it, or else it's just going to flail. It's not going to work.
First of all, open to growth is a bar. Open to growth is a bar, because along the entrepreneurial journey, there's going to be many opportunities, I call it, to grow, right? Yeah. Because again, you don't take an L as a loss, you take lessons.
Learn, yeah.
Let's speak a little bit about Safe to Create, because I said this to you offline, but I meant it with my soul, right? Because being a creativepreneur, again, along my journey, I have horror stories for days, but I don't focus on the horrors. Instead, I focus on the fact that we have so many incredible humans. And you're one of those on my list for me who are like, okay, well, you have this idea. Here's what I could do. Here's what we could do. Let's make it happen. When you hear Safe to Create, what does that mean for you? Or a haven to create? What does that mean?
So I go to the word creative and creativity and what it means to create and be creative. And ultimately that word is synonymous with vulnerability. You are exposing your inner everything, right? It's art. And if you're going to put out a rap song, a painting, and then take it all the way down to business and entrepreneurship, coming from a creative space, you are putting yourself out there.
Yes.
And if people don't like it, which they're not, you have to be okay with that.
Yes.
And so if you come into a space like this and you're just sharing all your inner stuff, and some of it is scary and weird and perhaps evil, and then some of it is beautiful and nice and all of it. Bring it all. That's the only way to create. You can't be limited in creativity, or else you're not creative.
Y'all, I really need that. Do we have a button here at the studio? Sadie, we got
a motorcycle rev.
We need something, Sadie. Come on, Sadie got me on the ones and twos. That is so fire. And it's true. Vulnerability. And that's something too, even in entrepreneurship, even also us as creatives, we take risks every day. We were also talking about this. We take risks every day. There are ideas that people have never seen. It comes to us and it's like, oh, I'm supposed to birth that. Okay. Or even if we collaborate with someone doing something different, you hit the nail right on the head. It's so funny. You talked about in your origin story, helping folks through addiction. And now you're helping creatives through their process. And you know what I love? You're doing the same God's work. And that's helping people step by step, knowing what they need to honestly thrive in their vulnerability. And so I want to say thank you for that. But if you had any advice for an entrepreneur, specifically a creative entrepreneur, so the ones who do what we do, we're talking media, music, podcasting, all the gamut. What's some advice that you have for that creative entrepreneur who is like, I want to do it. I don't know, bro. Some days it's yes, some days it's no. Or, where do I start? Where's the encouragement?
That's such a great question, because it so much relates to life's journey. And if someone were to ask me to give advice, as a 40-something-year-old to a...
You 40-something?
47.
Keep treating people good, Robbie. Keep treating people good, Robbie.
I mean, I'm old, man. But there's wisdom in that oldness, right? Yeah. So I often get asked, to give advice to younger folks, and it a lot of times comes back to the same thing. Yeah. I am now at an age where I can look back and make sense of so many of my experiences, and so many of them are tough. So many of them, in the moment, this is the end of my reputation. It's the end of my business. It's the end of this relationship. It's the end of whatever. And it wasn't. It rarely was. And so you look back and it's like, man, God, if that didn't happen, then this wouldn't be happening. And it all, like we said at the beginning, it all comes together and makes sense. So the advice really is, specifically in the creative entrepreneurial space, you're going to have ups and downs, The ups, you want to make sure are not too high. You can get excited, get fired up, but don't be like, oh, this is how it's going to be forever. We're going to get rich, because tomorrow you're going to get that email where somebody says, nah, I'm not interested. And you're going to go straight down.
That's facts.
And you got to make sure you don't go way down here either. So make that frequency come in about like this. Get some of this going. And keep control of your expectations. Know that you're going to get failure. You're going to make mistakes. People are going to say, no, that is not the end. That's not the end. Keep rolling. Every no, like you said, is a learning opportunity to get a yeah.
Let me tell you, that's Robbie.
I don't know.
Robbie, where you came from, Robbie?
Flowing.
Robbie, where you came? Don't they? Don't let the highs change your heart, and don't let the lows change your mind. You started that. That's your bar. I just come.
I like that better.
Don't let the highs change your heart and the lows change your mind. Woo, fire. So, Robbie, how can we support you? You support all of us. I'm not gonna lie, all my favorites is up and through EVRYBDY Studios. But what can we do for you, Robbie? What's a way we can show up? How can the amazing familia and folks watching across the globe support you? What does that look like?
There's no direct ask. It's really just keep us in your minds, keep us in your hearts, keep us coming out of your mouths. Talk about us, pay attention. We're doing some cool stuff. We've got some really exciting things that we're creating on our own. Obviously, we're bringing in people that are doing big things, but we're creating some stuff too.
Yes. Big things, y'all.
Yeah,
big things.
We're just going, man.
Yeah.
We're just going.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I'm going to give the amazing familia a challenge if that's okay.
Please.
Here's what I want y'all to do. We got to show for the people who show up for us. And we're talking 24/7, 365, thinking about us, always forwarding their big vision with us in mind. I want y'all to follow all things EVRYBDY Studios. But I don't want you to just follow. I also want you all to get in the habit of, if there's like a soundbite or a bar that you like, repurpose that, reuse that, repost that. It costs you nothing to repost, right? Because again, I think about how Robbie following his vision, I'm allowed to meet him and do all the things. But now I need your help to help me push Robbie, because he edifies me. So let's edify him back. If there's a bar and anything you hear along the content, if there is maybe a subject matter from one of his hosts in a podcast, or maybe he's talking about something, follow, like, share, repost. It costs you nothing. Deal?
Deal.
Pinkies up? Down.
Sis.
Easy. I love you, man.
Dang,
I love you, man. You the truth, bro. For real. Thanks for being the truth. We need you out here. It's me, I'm weak. Yeah. You know how to get emotional.
Thank you so much.
Love you, man. Thanks.
All right.
Y'all, he's the truth. He's the truth. I'm getting all teary-eyed. Y'all know I be crying. Sadie. Let the tears let the tears fall. But for real, Robbie, I love you, man. You're the truth. And thanks for really embodying what it means to be EVRYBDY Studios.
Thank you, Olivia.
Ooh, I love y'all. Y'all already know another episode of the cOHlab. I'm going to go cry because these lashes ain't mine. But you already know we'll be back on We'll be back again with another one. And again, you all, if you know anybody incredible doing great things here in the city of Charlotte or beyond, I would be honored to highlight them. Listen, this is a thing we build brick by brick every day. So when you see your favorites showing up, it's so important that you show them love, but I want to help. Okay, so listen, DM me, email hello@ohaviaphillips.com, and let's brag about some good people, cool people doing amazing things through their businesses. I love y'all. See y'all next time.